When you pull out the cheapest robot vacuum at a discount, it's easy to feel a little triumph when those cheap wheels roll across the floor until you watch it get stuck on a single strand of hair, miss the corner of the kitchen island, or leave a wet ring of suds after a mop cycle. That kind of buyer's regret is why I'm always a bit cautious before I recommend any all-in-one home assistant. The ECOVACS DEEBOT T30S promises to solve those very problems with a hydrovan obstacle avoidance, 11,000 Pascal suction motor, and a hot water mop that refills itself. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the everyday reality of using a robot like this. I set the T30S on my apartment's 300 square foot layout, which mixes hardwood, low-pile carpet, and a few tiles in the bathroom. I programmed it to run 6 days a week, 2 hours each night, because I'm not a fan of waking up to a buzzing machine. The first thing I notice is the quiet confidence of its AIVI 3D navigation. Unlike older models that would repeatedly bump into a coffee table leg, the T30S maps the space in 3 dimensions, learns where the sofa cushions sit, and gracefully sweeps around potted plants without misreading their leaves as obstacles. That alone saves a lot of frustration for anyone who's tangled a robot's brush in a stray cord before. The suction power is another headline that lives up to the hype. At 11,000 pascals, the unit pulls up fine dust from hardwood and dislodges crumbs stuck in carpet fibers. In real terms, I mean the pet hair from my cat who sheds just enough to be noticeable gets lifted in a single pass. A lot of cheaper robots claim high suction numbers on paper but fumble when the dustbin fills too quickly. The T30S's ZeroTangle anti-tangle technology really shows its worth here. The brush roll is designed to keep hair from winding up, which means the bin stays empty longer and you don't have to yank out a clogged brush every other day. For a busy household with pets or kids, that translates to less maintenance time and more consistent cleaning performance. Mopping is where the T30S tries to differentiate itself. The TruEdge adaptive edge mop can handle the tricky border areas where traditional flat pads usually leave streaks. In the kitchen, where the backsplash meets the floor, the mop's edge actually hugs the wall and wipes a thin line of water, rather than just sliding over it. The real kicker, though, is the instant Re-Mop AI. The robot scans for visible stains after a standard sweep and then triggers a second pass with hot water. I tested it on a spilled juice spot on my laminate floor. The first vacuum pass sucked up most of the liquid, but a faint ring remained. When the robot identified the spot, it turned on the hot water spray, remopped that exact area, and the ring vanished without me lifting a finger. If you're the type of person who hates spotting a single coffee spill, that feature feels like a small but satisfying safety net. All of these capabilities are fed through the OmniStation, which serves as a charging dock, dustbin emptying system, and water refill reservoir. The station does a lot of heavy lifting. It automatically empties the robot's dustbin into a sealed bag and refills the mop reservoir with hot water from a 1.5-liter tank. The trade-off is the size of the base. On a modest-sized apartment, the OmniStation occupies an inch-wide rectangle that you need to place against a wall or under a low cabinet. If you're living in a cramped studio, you'll need to carve out a dedicated spot for it, or else you'll see the robot crawling back to the dock and hanging around while it waits for the cycle to finish. That's a practical limitation you might not notice until you actually set it up. Now, who should consider buying the T30S? If you have a mixed-floor home, regular foot traffic, and at least one shedding pet, the combination of high suction, ZeroTangle brush, and a hydrovan mop makes the robot a genuine time-saver. The automatic dustbin emptying also means you won't be dealing with the usual weekly chore of cleaning out the small bin. People who value hands-free cleaning, want a single device that can vacuum and mop, and are comfortable allocating a bit of floor space for the charging station will get the most bang for their buck. On the flip side, if you live in a very small space where there's no room for the OmniBase, or you have very thick carpet that needs a deep clean brush roller, the T30S uses a standard brush designed for most surfaces, then the device might feel over-engineered for your needs. Likewise, anyone who wants a robot strictly for quick sweeps and isn't interested in hot water mopping may find the added complexity unnecessary. Let's talk about the practical weaknesses that matter after a few weeks of use. The most common complaint from owners of high-tech robots is the learning curve for the app. ECOVACS's app is packed with scheduling.